What up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. In this episode, I'm going to give you guys the 5 best upcoming Cardano NFT mints happening this week. And without further ado, let's get in to number 1. The first project on our list today, guys, are the ADA Inmates. The team are releasing 5,000 of these main PFP prisoners tomorrow, February 9th, at 130 ADA each. And although it is mostly a whitelisted mint, there's still going to be some supply for the public, as well as anything that doesn't sell in their whitelist mint, although I don't expect that much supply. If you don't know anything about ADA Inmates, they're essentially this whole prisoner cell, dark, gloomy type theme project that is all about different inmates that have committed different crimes and are part of different organizations. And a couple months ago, or I think around 2 months ago, they had actually released their death row passes, which have gotten 181,000 ADA worth of volume, don't have a single listing right now, and have had major sales ranging all the way from 2,000 ADA up towards 4,000 ADA that just happened yesterday. These passes are acting as a whitelist, so that's why there's a lot of hype and demand for them right now, but they're also going to have a lot of different utilities in the future. As far as what they're trying to do as a project, they really are taking a sort of ape society feel with what they're doing. Right now, they have those death row passes. They're about to release 5,000 of these prisoners in their main PFP mint. And then there's going to be another mint in the future that has to do with their cells. And essentially, what they're doing, guys, is all of these prisoners, and by the way, all the founders are doxxed, which is nice, but essentially, all of these prisoners are going to have different crimes that they've committed and have different staking bonuses very similar to Ape Society. And you can kind of see here, they have all these different races, they have all these different crimes, they have these classes, and they're each going to have some sort of impact when it comes to the overall staking. They're then going to have their posters, which are going to be very similar to the frames of Ape Society. And then their cells are pretty much going to be the Ape Society cabins. And what you're going to do is you're going to be able to stake these different inmates, get these different materials such as glue and paper. You're going to be able to trade them around in order to get their main utility token, which is called smokes. And that's kind of how the whole entire ecosystem or economy works. Their sell mint is supposed to happen sometime in the next couple months, and it is going to be a whitelist, one-to-one whitelist with some additional supply going to people that basically don't have these inmates going towards the public. So yeah, very interesting overall. I'm a little curious on how they're actually going to manage the overall inflation of the specific token, but the amount of ADA that they're raising compared to the size of the community and the engagement that they've been having looks pretty solid right now. And I definitely think it's a project to keep your eyes on as far as minting, as well as potentially a longer term play. The next project on our list today are the Helmies, and this is a collab project with Cardano Thor as well as the Handies community. There's going to be 1,500 of these different Handies, and they have all sorts of different traits from various projects, including Jelly Cubes, which is super cool. The mint price is only 45 ADA, and there's a ton of demand within both of these communities to actually own these. As far as utility, guys, they aren't really providing any sort of utility, and mostly is just a fun art community focused project. And the truth of the matter is they're asking for a very little amount of money for this whole entire thing. And the 20,000-ish ADA that is going to Cardano Thor is going to be voted on by the community on how to actually use those different funds. I think the art looks really solid. And if you compare the CT793 floor as well as the Handies floor, where they're already at 30 ADA with 6,500, and you compare that to only 1,500 NFTs, you can probably expect that this project will do really well. I don't know, I don't have any idea of where exactly the floor is going to go, but about 1,200 of these NFTs of the 1,500 are pure whitelist, with another 300 and any unsold supply going towards the public. The third project on our list today are the Saturn Blobs. Now, these Saturn Blobs are super, super interesting, guys, and they're essentially releasing this Sunday for only 4 ADA each. Really, it's only 1 ADA, but there's about 3 ADA worth of transaction fees. Now, what's really interesting about these Blobs, guys, is they're in the new CIP68 standard, which allows Cardano NFTs to actually read smart contracts, and it opens a whole world of different possibilities. If you're following the Block Investment Group, you would have heard our Twitter space yesterday talking to Nick, which is one of the founders of Saturn, which are going to be a minting platform to actually mint all of these new NFTs on this new standard. What they're doing is this Sunday, they're releasing 1,000 of these blobs for that 4 ADA mint price, and you're going to be able to level these up through playing the various games they have, as well as spending some additional ADA to actually upgrade them. So when you mint them, they might all be green, all 1,000 of them might be green, but then there's going to be some sort of mission or some sort of game. And when you complete that boss or complete that step, you're then going to have the ability to pay to upgrade that NFT. And now it might be orange or yellow, etc. and etc. And supposedly, according to Nick, that if you get to the last level, there's going to be tons of prizes and rewards that are all baked into it. So super interesting overall. For it being a free NFT mint, it's an absolute no-brainer. And this is really the first major collection to use this new SIP standard. If you've been paying attention, the Matrix Berry released by Alessandro a month or two ago was the first collection to launch with this, but there's only 100 of those berries. This is going to be a lot bigger than that in the sense that this is like kind of like a more full collection. Really interesting stuff. I have my eye on these things. The only thing you have to note, guys, is you can't actually buy and sell these yet on JPEG Store because they don't support this new standard, but supposedly they're going to support that really soon. And I do think this standard is going to be the new standard for Cardano NFTs and just open up a world of possibilities. The next project on our list are the Porky Island NFTs. And this was a project that was supposed to already mint out, but there were issues on the JPEG Store Launchpad minting. There was a lot of botting activity, DDoSing, whatever you want to call it, and they were not able to actually sell out this collection. There's supposed to be 3,333 of these at only 33 ADA each. And now this mint has moved to the 11th. So you can expect around another 1,400 NFTs to drop for that 33 ADA mint price. So it's kind of a no-brainer to try to mint some of these, especially since the floor is already 3x and they've had about 200,000 ADA worth of volume. As far as a long-term play here, I personally don't see it yet. They don't have any information on their website, on their Discord, on their Twitter. It really has just been these goofy, memeable animations with no promises. So who knows if the founder whips out some crazy stuff in the future. Right now, that's a lot of speculation, and I'm mostly treating this as kind of a meme speculative mint that has a low overall mint price, and that's why it's doing well on the secondary market. The last project on our list today is the anime project CNFT. There's going to be 100 of their Genesis Pass releasing, and this is going to be a free mint. Now, originally, these were going to launch on JPG's Launchpad, but ever since the whole debacle that happened to Porky, they are now just going to be airdropping these to people's wallets. If you are whitelisted, definitely get that airdrop and make sure your wallet is listed. If you're not whitelisted, maybe keep an eye on the project, and if someone hasn't submitted their address, maybe you'll be lucky enough to get one of these. As far as the long term of the project, I'm not really seeing it too much as of yet. These are going to kind of be the Genesis passes that allow you to mint their main PFP collection. They're going to have a token that unlocks different animated content. You can encapsulate these into kind of like cards. It doesn't seem too crazy to me right now, but for being a free mint, it's definitely worth going for and at least paying attention to. That pretty much wraps up this week's best upcoming Cardano NFT mints. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. And if you're someone that's really active in the space and wanting to get deeper analysis as well as what I'm personally doing on these mints, as well as exclusive mints that I don't put on my YouTube channel, definitely check out Jelly Cubes in order to get all of that additional information and be part of the various utilities that we're going to have in the future. But yeah, that wraps up this video, guys, and I hope you have an awesome day.